OLED televisions just took their biggest leap in years. A new generation of panels has shattered the old brightness ceiling. The brightest 2026 sets now push past 3000 nits while keeping the perfect, inky blacks OLED is famous for. But the best TV for a dark home cinema is not the best TV for a sunny living room, and the flagship that wins on paper is not the one most people should buy. We tested the 6 that genuinely matter right now, scored them on what you'll actually see, and matched each to the room and the budget it fits. Prices are shown in euros and dollars. Let's get into it. Before we rank anything, here's how we judged. 4 things genuinely decide how happy you'll be with an OLED. First, picture quality, contrast, color accuracy, and the processing that ties it together. Second, brightness, which decides whether it looks stunning in a sunny room or only in the dark. Third, gaming, refresh rate, input lag, and HDMI 2.1 ports. And fourth, value, whether the price matches what you get. Spec sheets can mislead. These 4 are what you actually see from the sofa, and they're how we scored all 6. Starting at the top, our best overall pick, the Samsung S95H, the brand new 2026 QD-OLED, and the successor to last year's award-winning S95F. Once you see it in a real living room, it's easy to understand the hype. Most OLEDs look incredible in the dark but wash out in a sunny room. The S95H fixes that. It pairs Samsung's brighter 2026 QD-OLED panel with the new glare-free 3.0 matte screen, so it stays punchy and vivid even with the curtains open. For the way most people actually watch, daytime, lights on, that combination is unbeatable. The hardware is loaded. QD-OLED delivers perfect blacks with extremely vivid, high-volume color, and Samsung says it's around 35% brighter than last year's S95F, comfortably past 3000 nits at peak. For gamers, it's a dream. 4 full HDMI 2.1 ports in 4K at 165 Hz. The one notable gap is Dolby Vision. Samsung still refuses to support it, using HDR10+ instead. The standout is that glare-free matte screen, now in its 3rd generation. Where a glossy OLED throws back every window and lamp as a distracting reflection, the S95H's coating essentially erases them. Combined with the higher 2026 brightness, it's the rare OLED that looks reference grade at night and still stunning at noon. For a bright room, nothing else here competes. So what do we love? It's the brightest QD-OLED here, and that matte screen makes reflections vanish. It looks superb in bright rooms where rivals struggle. And for gamers, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports with 165 Hz refresh is the most complete package in this guide. It's not flawless. Samsung still won't support Dolby Vision, so films mastered for it fall back to HDR10+, a real annoyance for some. And the picture processing can run a touch aggressive out of the box, which purists will want to dial back in the settings. Bottom line, if you want one TV that's brilliant in any lighting and unbeatable for gaming, the S95H is it. For most living rooms, this is the smart, do-it-all choice for 2026. If you want the outright best picture money can buy in 2026, here's the LG G6. This is LG's flagship, and it pushes OLED brightness somewhere the technology has never been. OLED's one historic weakness was brightness. LG's answer is a 4-layer panel called Primary RGB Tandem, and the G6 is the showcase. LG calls it their brightest OLED ever, and in a dark room, the combination of that brightness with OLED's perfect blacks produces an image that genuinely takes your breath away. The numbers are flagship grade. LG says the new panel is around 45% brighter than last year's already record G5. It runs the Alpha 11 Generation 3 processor, adds a reflection-free premium coating, and for gamers, there's 4K at 165 Hz with NVIDIA G-Sync across all 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. It also supports Dolby Vision, which the Samsung does not. The breakthrough is the panel itself. Instead of the usual 3-layer structure, Primary RGB Tandem stacks 4 emissive layers, separate red, green, and 2 blue, so it drives far more light and richer color without touching OLED's perfect blacks. The result is the most spectacular contrast in this guide, searing highlights against true black in the same frame. What we love, it's LG's brightest OLED ever, around 45% up on the G5. The reflection-free coating and Dolby Vision support cover the bases Samsung misses. And the Alpha 11 Gen 3 processing plus full 165 Hz G-Sync gaming make it an enthusiast's dream. The catches, this is top-of-the-market pricing. You pay a steep premium for that last leap in brightness. and like every flagship TV, the built-in speakers can't match the visuals. You'll want a soundbar to do it justice. Bottom line, if picture quality is the whole point and the budget allows it, the G6 is the most spectacular image here. For enthusiasts chasing the absolute best, this is the one. If you mostly watch films and series rather than play games, this is your set, the Sony BRAVIA 8II. It doesn't chase the brightest numbers, it chases the most believable image, and it wins. Sony's reputation is built on processing, and the BRAVIA 8II is the purest expression of it. Worth knowing, for 2026, Sony moved its flagship effort to Mini LED, so the BRAVIA 8II is now their dedicated OLED, and where Samsung and LG push raw brightness, Sony tunes for cinematic realism. Filmmakers themselves use Sony monitors, and it shows. It uses a QD-OLED panel paired with Sony's class-leading image processing. It supports Dolby Vision, runs Google TV, and its upscaling of older or lower quality content is the best in this guide. The trade-offs: it's noticeably dimmer than the S95H and G6, dims further in game mode, and tops out at 4K, 120Hz rather than 165. The standout isn't a spec, it's restraint. Sony's processor focuses on depth, texture, and natural color rather than blasting brightness, so films look the way the director intended, not artificially punched up. If you've ever felt a TV makes everything look like a soap opera, this is the antidote. For movie nights, it's the most authentic picture here. What we love, the most natural, filmmaker-accurate image in the guide, full Dolby Vision support, and the best upscaling for older content, and color and motion realism that makes films genuinely cinematic rather than showroom flashy. The trade-offs: it's clearly dimmer than the Samsung and LG flagships, so a bright room blunts its advantage, and it dims further in game mode. And since Sony shifted its 2026 flagship to Mini LED, this is now the brand's only OLED, a specialist for the cinema crowd. For that viewer, it's worth it. Bottom line, if your TV is mostly for films and prestige series in a controlled light room, the BRAVIA 8II gives you the most cinematic image here. For movie lovers, it's the one. Now the one most of you should actually buy, the LG C6. It isn't the brightest, but it might be the smartest purchase in this entire guide, because it gives you the 2026 OLED experience for far less than the flagships. The C-Series is the best-selling OLED line for a reason. It delivers most of the flagship experience at a mid-range price. For 2026, the C6 gets an upgraded tandem panel, and on the 77-inch and larger sizes, BAT C6H, it even inherits the flagship's brightest panel. For the popular 65-inch, it's a lot of OLED for the money. The feature set is nearly complete. You get LG's 2026 Tandem OLED Evo panel with perfect blacks, Dolby Vision support, and a full gaming suite, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports and 4K at 165 Hz. It comes in nearly every size from a compact 42 inches to a massive 83. It's simply not as bright as the G6 flagship. That's the main thing you give up. The headline here isn't one feature, it's the whole package for the price. The new 2026 Tandem panel, perfect blacks, Dolby Vision, and a complete next-gen gaming setup, available in basically any size you want, for far less than the G6. That balance of quality, features, and price is exactly why the C-Series is the OLED we recommend to the most people. What we love: flagship-grade features at a mid-range price. Around €2,500 for a 65-inch, that's 165 centimeters, is excellent value, and it keeps the full gaming suite and Dolby Vision across every screen size. The compromises are modest. It's clearly not as bright as the G6, so a very sunny room isn't its strength, and the very brightest version of the panel is reserved for the larger C6H sizes, so the smaller models trade a little peak punch for the lower price. Bottom line, on pure picture per euro, the C6 is the smart buy. For most people who want a genuinely great 2026 OLED without flagship money, this is the one. If you want real OLED for the least money, here's the LG B6, our best budget pick. It's the cheapest, honest route to those perfect, inky OLED blacks, and in 2026 it hits new brightness highs for LG's entry model. OLED used to be a luxury-only technology. The B6 is the set that keeps it mainstream. It's LG's 2026 entry-level OLED, sitting just below the C6, and in testing it lands surprisingly close to the C6 for a fraction of the price. The 65-inch comes in around $2,000, territory that not long ago bought only a mid-range LCD. For the money, the spec sheet is generous. You get genuine self-lit OLED blacks, a detailed and colorful picture, strong gaming features including HDMI 2.1 and 4K at 120Hz, and LG's Slick Smart platform. The honest catch is the panel. The B6 skips the new tandem structure, so it's the dimmest LG OLED here, happiest in a dim or moderately lit room. The standout is simply the price of entry. For around $2,000, you get a genuine OLED panel, every pixel its own light, switching fully off for perfect black, not the fake LED contrast of a cheap LCD. In the lab, it lands within touching distance of the pricier C6. Add real next-gen gaming features, and it's the most affordable way to get the OLED look the flagships charge thousands for. What we love, the cheapest path to true OLED black levels, full stop. A 65-inch, that's 165 centimeters, around 1,800 euros. And performance that lands remarkably close to the C6, so you're not giving up much for the savings. The trade-offs, it skips the new tandem panel, so it's the dimmest LG OLED in this guide. A bright, sunny room isn't ideal. And at this price, the competition is fierce. Sony and Hisense both fight hard here, so it's worth comparing before you commit. Bottom line, if you want genuine OLED quality on a tight budget, the B6 is the one. It's the most affordable ticket to perfect blacks you can buy in 2026. Finally, for anyone who doesn't want a separate soundbar, the Panasonic Z95B, it carries over as Panasonic's European flagship for 2026, and every other set here needs external speakers to sound their best. This one genuinely doesn't. Panasonic TVs are the ones European film buffs quietly swear by, and the Z95B remains their flagship into 2026. It does two things almost no rival manages at once: a brilliant, bright RGB tandem picture, and a built-in sound system so good it can replace a soundbar entirely. It's designed as a true one-box solution. The picture uses the same kind of primary RGB tandem panel tech as LG's flagship, with a thermal flow cooling system to sustain brightness, so it's bright and richly colorful with perfect blacks, and it supports Dolby Vision. But the headline is the sound, a built-in system tuned by Technics, Panasonic's hi-fi brand, that delivers genuine Dolby Atmos height and width without a single extra speaker. The standout is the audio. Most TVs sound thin because there's no room for real speakers. Panasonic built a proper multi-driver array tuned by its hi-fi division, Technics. The result is wide, room-filling Dolby Atmos with actual bass and height effects. The only TV here you can genuinely live with soundbarless. For a clean setup, that's a big deal. What we love, the best built-in sound of any TV, full stop, tuned by Technics. A bright RGB tandem picture with perfect blacks and Dolby Vision, and the freedom to skip a soundbar entirely without feeling shortchanged. The catch is, it's premium priced and, depending on your region, harder to find than the Samsung and LG sets. And while gaming is solid, it tops out below the 165Hz refresh of the Samsung and LG flagships. For sound-first buyers, neither is a deal-breaker. Bottom line, if you want a stunning picture and want to skip the soundbar, the Z95B is the one. It's the best-sounding TV you can buy, and the picture more than holds its own. Side by side, the picture gets clear. The Samsung S95H is the brilliant all-rounder that conquers bright rooms and gaming. The LG G6 delivers the most spectacular image, full stop, if the budget allows. The Sony BRAVIA 8II is the film lover's choice for cinematic accuracy. The LG C6 gives you most of a 2026 OLED for far less money, while the B6 is the cheapest genuine ticket into the technology. And the Panasonic Z95B is the one box that sounds as good as it looks. There's no wrong answer here, only the right one for your room and your budget. So here's the simple way to decide. Bright living room and you want everything. The Samsung S95H chasing the outright best picture, budget aside. The LG G6 mostly films in a controlled light room. The Sony BRAVIA 8II, after the smartest value. The LG C6 every time. Want genuine OLED on a tighter budget. The B6. And if you want a stunning picture with no separate soundbar, the Panasonic Z95B is built for you. And that's our complete 2026 OLED TV guide, the do-it-all Samsung S95H the Picture King LG G6, the cinematic Sony BRAVIA 8II, the unbeatable value LG C6, the budget champion B6, and the great-sounding Panasonic Z95B. Up-to-date prices in euros and dollars, plus links to all 6 are in the description below. Which one fits your room? Let us know in the comments and subscribe because we publish a fresh buyer's guide every single week.